Welcome all the students from 8th standard for the General Science Test 1. That test is given by SCERT in case of bridge course given by SCERT Maharashtra. This is the test number 1 on day number 15, and this test is for the semi-English students. 8th science semi-English students can write all the questions and all the answers from this video. Please subscribe this channel. I am Mr. Mahmood Mulani sir. On behalf of Mahmood Mulani Online Education, since 1997, I am a teacher in a reputed, well-known school from Pune district. Please subscribe my channel and also hit the bell icon with selection of all sticker. Also like this video, and you can share the same video to all your colleagues from the 8th standard or your teacher of maths and science. They can forward this video to all the students from their school or class. Let us go to the question paper number 1, that is test number 1, given by SCERT Maharashtra Pune 30, and this is the bridge course. Subject general science, time is 30 minutes and marks are 15. This test number 1 is based on activity sheets number 1 to 8th. Now there are some instructions or notes. Number 1 instruction is that all questions are compulsory. Draw neat and label diagram whenever necessary. The number in brackets on the right indicate marks for that question. Write only the correct option number for each multiple choice question if there any. This is question number 1 in front of your screen. Now you can see that in question number 1 there are 3 marks and there are 3 sub questions, means every sub question carries 1 marks each. Let us find out correct answer of each of the following sub question. Let us go. This is the first question. Complete the following chemical reaction. This reaction is photosynthesis reaction, and at the left hand side CO2 means carbon dioxide is given, and at the extreme right side O2 means 6 molecules of oxygen are given. This type of reaction, we know that this reaction is photosynthesis reaction. And what are the remaining parts? Remaining parts are like that. You can write 6 CO2 means carbon dioxide is there. Also, in that process of photosynthesis, water is important. It is written as 6H2O, means you have to write 6H2O in this bracket. Otherwise, you can write all this total reaction in your answer sheet. It makes no problem. It is clear that this process is photosynthesis process. For that process, sunlight is also necessary, and also chlorophyll present in the leaves of the plant is also necessary. From that, food that is called as glucose is prepared, and formula for that glucose is C6H12O6, means 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and 6 atoms of oxygen are present in 1 molecule of glucose. With that, oxygen is given out from the plants. Let us go to the question number 2. I am not showing any video here. You can go through my channel and see all the videos with myself. Here I am not presenting myself because this is the first video that I am giving to 8th standard students. Also, you can go through my channel for all other competitive exams like NMMS or scholarship exams or MTS exam or NTS exams and so on. Right now there is question number 2 in front of you. Write 2 examples of chemical preservatives, and those examples are given in the textbook of 7th science. Those chemical preservatives are acetic acid, also known as vinegar, commonly known as vinegar. With that, second chemical preservative is citric acid. You can write any 2 or any 3, all of 3 from the given preservatives. Third preservative is sodium benzoate. You can write all those 3 answers. Here only 2 examples of chemical preservatives are asked. You can write all those 3. Okay. Now question number 3, identify who I am. You can identify that living organism by the properties given below. In which type of nutrition you will add me? Type of nutrition you have to also mention. I live in hair on head and get food by absorbing blood. Which is that animal? Let us see some information and answer of that question. Some animals depend upon other animals for food. They can obtain the food only from animals on whom they are dependent. This is called as parasitic nutrition. Which type of nutrition is this? This is parasitic nutrition. Then which are those animals? Those animals examples are written in the next paragraph. Some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their blood. This is called ectoparasitic nutrition, and such animals are called ectoparasites. For example, louse present in the hairs of our head, bedbug present in any kind of bed, and a tick present on different types of animals. Those are the examples. And here I live in the hair on head and get food by absorbing blood. This animal or this living organism is the lice present in our hair. It is right here, louse. Okay, then we can go to question number 2. In front of you there are again 3 questions in question number 2, but here the marks are given as 6, means each sub question carry 2 marks. 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. Therefore, each sub question carries 2 marks. Let us go through answers of each questions separately. The sub question number 1 is that what precautions should you take when buying food in an airtight container or bags, and why? The answer is clearly given as check the expiry date of bottled, canned, packed food and use within that time. You can look on the upper part of that packing, that expiry date, packing date, batch number, all other things are also written. You can check the expiry date, because if you use that food after expiry date, it may become poisonous, it may harm your body, or it may harm your digestive system, and there are many side effects of such a poisonous food. Therefore, be careful while buying any kind of packed food. You have to check the expiry date of that food. Okay, question number 2, sub question number 1 is completed. Answer is in front of you. You can write it separately. Then again, so one question arises that how you can write with my speed. That you can pause this video and then write the answer, again play the video for the next sub question, and again pause it for writing that answer. Here are some quantities are given, 7 quantities are given, and you are asked to classify the given quantities into scalar quantity and vector quantity. What is meant by scalar and what is meant by vector? Very simple answer is that there are 2 parameters for any quantity. If direction is given or direction is necessary for that quantity, it is called as vector quantity, and if direction is not necessary, it is called as scalar quantity. For example, we are going to see the quantity called as distance. If you measure distance from one side to another side, it may 10 feet or 15 feet. If you come across and now you measure the distance in the opposite direction, will it be changed? No, there will be no change in the distance. Distance will be the same, means there is no issue of direction. This quantity is called as scalar quantity. Only the amplitude and the unit is necessary for the scalar quantity. In case of vector quantity, direction is the most important thing. In such a case, I can explain you that few quantities such as area, speed, distance and mass are totally scalar quantity. There is no need of mentioning any direction. There is no direction for such a quantities, mass, speed, area and distance. But for some quantities like velocity, weight and displacement, there are some directions are also given. Then you may ask me, what is direction of weight? Direction of weight is in the direction of gravitational force, because weight is nothing but the gravitational force, and force is a vector quantity because we apply the force on any particle or on any body with certain direction. If we have to go forward, you can apply the force in forward direction. If you want to go backward, you can apply the force in the backward direction. Means this is the important thing while applying force, that you should mention the direction. Therefore, weight, velocity and displacement are the vector quantities. You can write the answers in your answer sheet by viewing such a video. The third question is that, why does this happen? When a cold water bottle is taken out of the fridge, suddenly and after some time, water droplets appear on the outer surface of the bottle. Why such things are happening? Whether bottle is leak, it is cracked. No, other answer is there. When a cold water bottle is taken out of the fridge. There is also an experiment that in a glass, ice cubes are taken, and after some time there are droplets appears on the outer surface of that glass. Same is the condition here. We are using ice cubes in that experiment. Here cold water is there. We are using glass there in the experiment. Here the bottle is given. The phenomenon is the same. Then what is the answer? You can write the answer like that. Due to the ice cubes in the glass. This is the answer for the glass and ice cube experiment. Same is the answer for bottle and cold water experiment. Due to the ice cubes in the glass, the air surrounding the glass cools down. You can write like that. Due to cold water in the bottle, yes, and the answer is like that. Due to cold water in the bottle, the air surrounding the bottle cools down. As the water vapor in this air cools down, it condenses and gets transformed into water droplets. It is this water that collects on the outer surface of the bottle. Whenever there is the word glass is there, you can replace it by bottle, and whenever there is word ice cube, you can replace it by cold water. Your answer is ready. Some changes must be done here in order to write the correct answer, and I have already explained what changes should be there. You can write by listening that changes again and again. Fourth point is that, what is the property of water shown in the picture called, what is its advantages for aquatic animals? Those animals which lives in water are called as aquatic animals, and we can see that the total water in any water storage point can be converted into ice. We can walk on that ice. But what happens with the fish or other plants inside that water? This is the point. If ice is there, then all fish must die. But when ice melts, we see that there are too many big fishes are in the pond. From where they come? No, they never dies. Why they never dies? The answer is in this phenomenon of water. This phenomenon is called as anomalous behavior of water. Actually, what happens? Listen carefully. The density of water is peculiar. It is a special. The property of density of water is it special. When water at normal temperature starts cooling, its density increases like all other liquids. But if its temperature falls below 4 degrees Celsius, its density starts decreasing. Means density of water at 4 degrees Celsius is the most, and therefore that water is at the base. Look at the picture here. The 4 degrees Celsius water is at the base. Above that 3 degrees Celsius water, above that 2, and above that 1 degree Celsius. Means there is ice in between these 2 points, and below the ice there is a water with 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees Celsius of water. This here some wrong symbols are there. Here it must be plus 1 degree Celsius. There it is minus 1. Then here it is 0 degree Celsius of ice, and again outside that temperature might be in negative -1, it does not affect the living organisms inside the water because there is a ice in between those two. Density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius of water. This means that the density of water is maximum if the temperature of water lowers below 4 degrees Celsius. Its density decreases and volume increases, and that's why ice floats on the water. It means that water expands when the temperature falls below 4 degrees Celsius. This is called the anomalous behavior of water, and due to that anomalous behavior, all the water will not convert to ice. Only the upper part of water will be converted to ice, and below that water remains as it is, and in that water all the plants, all the living organisms, all the aquatic animals can live. Okay, this is the answer you can write. Question number 3, answer the following questions. Identify the name of the plant in the picture. Explain the adaptations of the trunk, root and leaf organ to survive in desert or low water areas. Actually, what happens in deserts or low water areas, the water is very deficient, and therefore with that water the plants have to survive, and therefore there are some adaptations, changes in all the parts of the plants. What are that changes? Why such changes are occurs? You have to write the answer, and answer is in front of you. Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are like small needles or have been modified into thorns. There are some changes in the leaves. For some plants there are no leaves, means they are leafless. In some kind of plants there are small needles, and in case of some plants there are some thorns are also there. As a result, there are no leaves, therefore they lose very little water by evaporation. The stem stores water and food and is therefore fleshy. The stems are green as they perform photosynthesis in the absence of leaves. In such a desert areas, there are no leaves for the plants. Then for the process of photosynthesis, stem itself becomes green and it performs photosynthesis process. Their roots penetrate deep into the soil. They goes deep in the soil, and some roots spread away into the soil also in order to suck the water. There is a thick layer of waxy substance on the stems of these plants to minimize the evaporation of water due to higher temperature outside that plant. Such changes are there. 4 or 5 changes I have already explained. You can write those, all the adaptations of root, trunk and leaf. Last question. Observe the picture and write the answers of the following questions. Write the name of part A and part B in the given picture. Part A is leaf apex and part B is stipule. It is called as stipule. You can write the answers. And again, what is the type of leaf? That leaf is very simple. Therefore, this leaf is called as simple leaves. Leaves of some plants have a single undivided leaf blade and a single midrib, means the given leaf is also a simple leaf. Okay. Third question is that how are the veins in the leaf arranged? There are 2 types of veins, parallel arrangement and reticulate venation. Here there is a reticulate venation because a net is formed by the small veins coming out from the midrib. You can see the parallel venation in the banana leaves. Go through it, and also you can write such answers. Thanks for watching this video. For all the 8th standard students, I request you again, like this video, share this video, and you can subscribe this channel. If you subscribe this channel, you get notifications when I will deliver other videos. Also, you can go through my channel. You can see all the videos that are prepared for NMMS or scholarship exams or NTS exams or 10th standard. All other above 100 videos are there. Lots of videos are there in the channel. Please look at it and subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you. Again, we will meet with the second test also for the same subject or the for the math subject also. I am giving you answers of those tests for maths and science in Marathi as well as in English medium students. Okay, thank you. Thanks again.